Hi, today on Random Help, I'll be talking about Imperial College London and what I view, what impressions I have of Imperial College. I'll be doing it for two other universities as well, which is King's College and UCL, because these are the universities I've been to most. I might do Oxford and them lot later on, but anyway, let's get to it. This is Imperial, let's go. So, firstly, I will go through the positives of Imperial, then the negatives, and then I will go through my final impressions in general of it, so you get a broad view and my opinion of it as well. So, let's go through the positives. So, firstly, Imperial has great facilities for undergraduates and PhD students. That can be easily seen, well, not easily seen, but you won't get access to many other PhD student stuff, but if you do get access to them, you will see they do have pretty hi-fi stuff. Then number two is that Imperial also has great tutors nationally and internationally, because not all the teaching has to be here. It can actually be abroad. Imperial actually stresses that fact that you can actually do a placement board and they will not mind. And what is so good about doing a placement board is, you get to develop your own the language, and you don't have, like, when you go out with a degree, you have a language as well, so you don't have to be constrained to this to English-speaking countries to do your job. You could go to the countries where you spoke whatever language you did. It could be French, Japanese, German, Spanish, whatever, right? Number three is that when given a research placement, you will not have to do any kind of studying. So it's like a 1 year full-on industry research, so you don't have to focus so much on the study bit, so that's great. And I think not a lot of universities do that, and to have that kind of facility is great, but you might just have to spend an extra year at university, so that, I guess it's a win-win situation. Also, you have great funding and bursaries at Imperial, and I really like that system, because you're in London. I think you get around £5,000 like grant if you earn less than 16,000, and you still get grants up to 60,000. That's how, depending on how much your family earns, and I think that's pretty good, and it's pretty reasonable amount of money to get from a university. Not many universities can accommodate this. Also, the location of Imperial is also quite amazing. It's near to the central London. It's quite off, but everything's pretty much there and there, and because it's in London, all of them, like major shops and stuff, are quite close by. You also have the museums close by as well, so if you do something related to maybe historical science, I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, anything that you require you to go to the museum, it's just in your footsteps, like doorsteps, sorry. So that's a great thing. I think Imperial goes by. So they also have great teachers as well. You can't even deny that. They have great teachers who teach students, and they are pretty much like enhanced on their field, and there are a lot of PhD students and master students at Imperial, so you will get the best of the best teachers who are already doing a research project and have a pretty good knowledge. The cons: firstly, there is no tutorial system which is one-to-one. This is only done by Cambridge Oxford. I don't know if people like really small, 1 to 4, 1 to 3. You won't really get that Imperial. It tends to be around 1 to 8, apparently. So if you want a small tutorial kind of group thing, Imperial really isn't for you. It tends to be 1 to 8 kind of thing. It tends to be a slightly bigger group. However, I have heard that most people don't speak, so if you are more of the a person that speaks a lot, you might just end up benefiting more than the others. So technically it will be 1-to-1 if you are confident enough. Another thing is people tend to be very introverted. As I said, like, people tend to be quite quiet in the areas, but you know, they are obviously, you know, if you get to know them very well, obviously they'll start to talk to you. But yeah, they tend to be very introverted, and that's not great for me. I would prefer people more extroverted and introverted. The last point is, it can be quite quiet there. I guess it is in London, and if you want an urban city that's quiet, like an urban place that's quiet, yeah, Imperial's good, but it can get a bit creepy. Like, sometimes it feels way too quiet. I guess people are talking, but sometimes it doesn't seem, because they're talking so quietly and stuff. It just, you know, it feels so quiet for some reason sometimes in some areas. Lunchtime it gets busy and stuff, but I guess everyone's in their rooms, and you know, when that happens, it's just damn silent. Like, even the noise outside, like, out of the building isn't that much. Like, there's this zone of quietness, and that can get a bit weird. Overall, I think Imperial does stand up to its name. It is a great university, and you know, it does incorporate people from many different faiths, many different ethnic backgrounds, you know, and it allows placements abroad. You know, sometimes a lot of these universities don't even have the facilities. It's great for that. I would really love to study chemistry there myself, as my 5th choice, apart from medicine. I would love to do chemistry at Imperial, I think. The only drawbacks, I guess, is some of the lecturers do seem a bit daunting for some reason for me. They just seem a bit, you know, some lecturers tend to be fun and upbeat. Not all lecturers in Imperial are like that. Some lecturers tend to be a bit more reserved, less upbeat, kind of boring kind of thing. That's what I found at Imperial. But yeah, I would still love to do chemistry there. Some of the lectures are really cool, and the practicals and the stuff they have, facilities are pretty darn great. Even for undergrads, even you didn't get to use the high end stuff. You know, the normal chemistry lab actually looks pretty amazing for undergrads. So yeah, I'm not gonna rate Imperial, but I do think Imperial, if you're an introverted, very smart kind of person, and would love to do an engineering or chemistry or anything science specialized kind of university, specialized degree, then Imperial is a good choice. However, I would not constrain yourself to Imperial, because you know, you do have to, also there is something where you have to specialize depending on which course you want to do. So something like engineering, you have to, in the first, like, when you choose, you have to specialize from the beginning. So not all universities do this, like Cambridge, Oxford let you do general engineering, but at Imperial it's very constrained engineering, so you have to do either chemical engineering or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering. So you might want to think about the degree choices as well, because some of the degree choices are limited, and you can't do arts at all at Imperial, but business is available, I think, with science, something like that. So yeah, degree choices are limited to sciences only, pretty much. So if you're going for science subjects and want to do hardcore science, I would go for Imperial, like, no questions asked. You'll get over the introversion. Like, if you get to meet people, they're pretty cool, and they do speak to you, like, in a great way, and it can be quite fun once you get to know them. Like, obviously, first off, it's kind of awkward, but when you get to know them, it's quite fun, and it's quite great to know them. So that's it, you know, random hop over and out, and I hope you liked this video. This is just an impression of Imperial I found. I'm not even in Imperial yet. I plan to apply there, but yeah, that's all from me. Random hop over and out, and I'll see you.